Dr. Gaurav Kapoor is a senior research scientist involved in the domain of security studies at CSTEP. He holds a PhD in information systems from the University of Florida, US. Professionally, he has over 3 years of experience in the information technology industry and 2 years of experience in teaching at business schools. At CSTEP, Gaurav has worked extensively on disaster management modeling and tool development. In India today, what does effective disaster management require?
Effective disaster management actually has 4 components: preparedness, mitigation, response, and recovery. An underlying set of themes in each of these components are integrated processes, effective facility and asset management, and training tools. Let me give you an example of what we mean by integrated processes. An example would be an effective command and control structure so that you can coordinate efforts and distribute responsibilities.
Right. Could you tell us a little bit about what kind of work CSTEP has done in this area?
Sure. CSTEP researchers have created a platform utilizing information technology that we are calling the Living Lab that will allow you to model the scale of disasters as well as identify processes, exercises, and tools that will help you in handling a disaster. 3 major components of this Living Lab include exploration and analysis, which basically means identifying a problem and associated subproblems. For example, let's take a fire happening in a high-rise building in an urban city. So we look at things such as that. We also do another component is simulation. Simulation is basically the use of software tools to look at situations and scenarios related to this particular problem. For example, if you think of how roads will get crowded with onlookers during this particular fire. And the third thing that we do is we build training tools, which are again software-based tools that teach first responders standard operating procedures during a disaster.
Okay. Now this Living Lab, can you give us some examples of what is included in it?
Sure. I will walk you through 4 major software tools that we have built. The first one is the Vehicle Dispatch and Routing System, or VDRS. This is a GIS based software tool that allows for the effective dispatch of emergency vehicles to a disaster location, and it takes into account real world situations such as crowded roads as well as the availability of the right kind of assets. The second thing that we have built is a 2D to 3D converter, and what it does is takes a 2-dimensional blueprint and creates a 3-dimensional structure out of it. This allows for easy visualization as well as situational awareness for first responders about the target structure before they actually have to go there. The third tool that we have built is a training tool for first responders in the START triage procedure. Now, the triage procedure is followed worldwide by responders in identifying or gauging the severity of injuries during a disaster. The reason we do this is so that effective medical treatment can be diverted to the people that need it most. Our software trains people who are not necessarily from a medical background in gauging and identifying severity of injuries amongst people and then tagging them appropriately. And finally, we have built a simulator for the people that are tasked with responding to a disaster, such as civilian personnel, including the deputy commissioner of the district, the police commissioner, the fire chief, the medical superintendent, and people on the ground. This simulator actually allows them to coordinate, it allows them to communicate, and it allows them to share assets so that they know what are the effective ways of managing these things during a disaster, as well as what are potential points of failure.
Thank you.